Donald Trump tweeted about you. Number one, what did he say? Number two, where did you receive that news? And number three, what did you immediately do?
So I found out about it because some friends of mine, they like I have a lot of friends who are news reporters, news anchors, political journalists, and they started texting me at like 7 in the morning because I think he fired off this tweet about me at like 5 or 6 because he's one of those early morning tweeters. And so my boy in Orlando, Stewart, who's a news anchor there, he was the first text that I read. He was like, "Dude, the president just tweeted about you," and I was like, "What?" And so I went to Twitter and I looked at the tweet, and I just started laughing because I was just like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. Like, there's a lot going on in this world right now. And it was something that I wasn't surprised by, but I feared would happen because at this point, the White House, as in the press secretary at the time, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, had already called for my firing during a White House press briefing, and I had been suspended. And so then it's like the president happily dancing on my grave. And so it was just kind of like, I wondered if this was going to be kind of like the nail in my coffin, because I know that, ESPN's mentality when these kind of controversies happen, not that there's been a controversy quite like mine, but just any controversy, they want the story to go away. They're just like, please go away so that we can get back to the business of being ESPN and just worrying about sports. And
Right.
so because of that escalation, I just wondered if it put me in a worse, kind of position. But my immediate thought was laughter because I just couldn't believe that the president of the United States didn't have shit else better to do but to tweet about the opinions of a sports center anchor. And on top of that, I also laughed because I was pleasantly impressed that he spelled my name right because mine's easy to fuck up.
Okay,
So.
right. His black spelling was pretty good.
Yeah, which is only convinces me that like maybe somebody else wrote that tweet because given that he's not real good at grammar, I'm way too. It's just way too many, way too big of an opportunity for him to like totally misspell my name. So yeah, it was that, and then of course, it was naturally it was just like waves and waves of comments on social media. I couldn't even open the app. I got like
Wait, hold on. You couldn't open the app?
No, it was too much. It's too much response. Like I couldn't open my own account at all. But the same thing happened after the White House, had their comments and during the press briefing. I couldn't even open the Twitter app because it was just too many people commenting, mentioning me. Like it just was like, nah, we're gonna take a break, sis. So I couldn't do that. I mean, by the time I found out at like 7, 8 in the morning, like really early. And, easily within an hour, I had like damn near 300 text messages. Like there was just, for people trying to check in on me, make sure I was all right. People like, did you see? Like, yes, I saw, that sort of thing. And so it was something that brought an instant tornado to my life.
Were you ever nervous? Like, were you ever like, shit, I better make sure my taxes in order? Hold on. What did I do? Did somebody leave a line of coke in my bathroom? I mean, were you ever nervous? Because I would think with the highest person in the land coming for you, and especially a guy that's like, I'm going to destroy my enemies, it would make me a little nervous. And I always want to know in my mind, sitting there watching it in real time, how you were.
So I wasn't nervous from that standpoint. Taxes was good, I wasn't nervous from that, but I was nervous about my physical safety because as anybody who has been attacked by President Trump knows is that there are detractors and haters, and then there's the type of people that he inspires. A lot of white supremacists consider him their leader, a lot of racists, a lot of white nationalists. And so the amount of death threats that I started to get, I had to disable my ESPN voicemail the last 16 months or so I was there. Like I just didn't have ESPN voicemail because I was getting so many death threats on my phone. And, in addition to death threats through the mail and just all kind of stuff. And so he just inspires a different level of hatred. And so for the first time, I mean, it wasn't the first time I'd ever been called racial slurs or anything like that, but for the first time, I actually was a little concerned about, my physical safety. I was like, is somebody gonna try to try me if I'm out in public? Like, what am I exactly dealing with here? They know what I look like. I don't know what they look like. So you
Right.
immediately feel a little bit at a disadvantage. I mean, that's part of the reason why while I was suspended, I spent a week with my boyfriend, who's now my husband. I spent a week at his place because he was living in another state. And then I spent another week in Los Angeles. Like, I got out of the Bristol
You
area.
Fatman Scoop. Go to Fatman Scoop on Instagram or Instagram TV to see the full interview.